Welcome to the OMG Podcast with Paul Finkelstein. Great advice and talk with small business owners, workaholics, whiz-bang entrepreneurs, and interesting guests. Here's your host, Paul Finkelstein.
Hi, everybody. This is Paul Finkelstein at OMG Talk Show or OMGTalk.com, the small business owner podcast for entrepreneurs, workaholic professionals, and small business owners. We're just wrapping up our meeting here in Delray Beach between 8 and 9 a.m. every week on Wednesdays at Bellamar, an assisted living community in Delray Beach. One of our guests volunteered to do a podcast ahead of time, of course, not impromptu. Of course, I might be willing to do that if I have all my podcast in a bag right here. Just gonna pull up on my screen. Okay. A couple of things I wanted to ask Karrie Klimas here today, as you can see on the screen already. Karrie, how are you today?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you, and thanks for being brave to be on a podcast. You've been on a lot of podcasts before, maybe?
Well, I want to say a lot, but I certainly have been on several. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's dive in and learn about Karrie here at omgtalk.com. So Karrie, why don't you share with us, how did you get started in doing what you do, and maybe elaborate a little bit about what you do and how you got started?
Absolutely. Well, I consider myself a leadership coach and consultant, and how I got started would be my own personal commitment to my growth. And I met a coach at a networking event, and being able to wanting to get out of my own way to create some better results. And because of my commitment and seeing my own personal growth, it's my purpose in life to be able to give back my time for others. To lots of times people not seeing where they're at, they get chaotic and stressful, but not sure how to manage their time effectively, to create some better results for themselves or their business. So I guess you could say that I've been inspired to use my natural skills and abilities to offer to people. So I have the time, the patience, and the winning attitude to support them to learn some new skills, become better leaders, and create some better results in their life.
Fantastic. Let's dive into question number 2 here. So what is it that you have to offer?
Well,
Pretty straight to the point. I love that about you. You're like my wife. You're very blunt, straight to the point, as you found out this morning.
Well, I'll say that I did training communication skills and was taught to get to the point and the purpose. Otherwise, people aren't really going to listen. What do I offer? Well, I do offer one-on-one leadership coaching, leadership development and performance consulting services, interactive in-person and virtual workshops, as well as administrative, marketing, visibility, specialty workshops. So you can get more specific on when I get the information at the end and how to find out a little bit more about each of those. But if you ever want to go into more detail, I'm happy to share that too.
Excellent. Is there any particular detail that you're dying to share with us, or what your major passion is, and what businesses you like to help?
Sure. Well, I'll say businesses are pretty much open. I mean, it has some industries that have been very popular, mortgage and real estate, but basically at the end of the day, it's all about personal development, team alignment, maybe organization culture, networking, marketing. I do offer what I call a growth roadmap for success, focusing on personal and professional life, as well as business and team, being able to really have a better plan on how to create less stress and more happiness and better growth for the company. Because when a leader gets caught in their rat race of doing the same thing different day, a lot of things come up, but really not having another better plan and knowing what to focus their time on, and then actually enjoying life and doing the fun things they like with the wealth that they're creating or want to get there.
You said your ideal client is?
Well, an entrepreneur, executive, or a small business owner. Mm-hmm. That's also just willing and open to know that if they had a better strategic plan to get more of what they want to accomplish, would probably, create less stress for them, and, knowing what priorities are, more productivity.
So an entrepreneur or a business owner that wants to level up their business up a notch?
Yeah, well, they take up their leadership up a notch. Absolutely. Everything in life is really learning to be better at practice, and being able to be around people that can show us how to be better at that.
I know you had your question here. How can people reach out to you? It's one of my last question after people's fourth questions are. Okay. If you have any last thoughts before I wrap up, and so you could tell us any last thoughts you have and how people could reach you as well.
Sure. Well, I'll just say when it comes to meeting people, the best thing you can do is stick your hand out and introduce yourself and say, hi, my name is, and see about giving real eye contact. See if you can really be able to focus attention and ask sincere questions. I actually am creating a new additional business card that supports people to put the phone down, put it away, and actually learn something new about the other person, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So
It's very true.
the cell phone can be more of a problem for people not really developing relationships with the person sitting right in front of them. But yes, the last thing you asked and how to reach me. So I do have a website, greatpartnershipsolutions.com. I also have a YouTube channel with over 115 short motivational videos on time management, goal setting, life, business skills, my workshops, my events, my services. And most of my videos are under 4 minutes. So instead of buying a book, you can just click on YouTube anytime you want and check out a 4-minute video and probably be inspired and motivated as well. And yeah, those are my 2 best ways. But of course, it's also cell phone and email. But there's also a free ebook on my website too, if that interests people. But greatpartnershipsolutions.com.
Thank you for sharing your last thoughts and how to reach out to you. Just as a recap, we've been here with Karrie Klimas. You can see how it's spelled there on the screen. We'll put this video up at omgtalk.com as a link. So it's a few links over there about OMG Talk and where to find us and networking on Tuesdays through Saturdays, etc. Just as a recap, she told us how she got started. She told us what she has to offer and who her ideal client is and how people could reach out to her. Thanks so much for being here, Karrie. And thanks for joining us too on the meeting before from 8 to 9. Can you tell us also, to put you on the spot, what you liked and what you learned from our earlier meeting from 8 to 9?
Sure. There's one more thing I'd like to add as well. So what I did learn is I did like the fact that Paul here actually did it very structured, very agenda-wise, great questions. His wife actually shared something that I took advantage of, putting also into my elevator pitch. And one other thing I'll say, because I do offer one-on-one leadership coachings, I do also host a networking skills workshop, a networking practice workshop, and a goal-setting workshop. We're not really taught how to network. And so those include learning how to be more prepared, better organized before, during, and after an event, as well as meeting people for coffee and take that next step, because lots of people don't really know the next step is follow-up, and they might email people, but they're not doing the call to action, inviting for that coffee appointment, and you really taking time to learn more about each other. I also support people in creating an elevator pitch and goals to have. So if you're going to meet people, having a goal in mind, who is an ideal client, and what you're looking for. And I'll say also including an extra tip would be make sure your business card actually has your picture on it, phone number and email, because at the end of the day, just like you have on social media, your picture, lots of times I see people don't have their picture, but LinkedIn, Lineable, and other profiles often have our picture on it. So be sure to include that on a business card.
What do you think of those business cards that actually have a tiny picture or a big picture? Do you have a recommended size that fill up half of the card, or at least a good size?
I mean, my business card, I'm going to say maybe about a fourth. I definitely, even if we have more white space on the card, I do use front and back. So definitely use the front and back. The back actually has QR codes. So now they used to be in the bottom. They're now more to the right. And so being able to have also a breakdown of what I offer on the back of the card too. So I have a QR code to my website as well as my YouTube channel on my business card. Even label that, because often I see people have QR codes, but you don't even know what you're going to. Mm-hmm. So I definitely recommend a picture, good quarter size, putting your logo on it in the front.
A picture of the picture, a picture of the QR code, a picture where a word of where it's going.
Picture of yourself, maybe you put your logo, as well as maybe if you do have a QR code, maybe it's LinkedIn, who knows? But you can actually create a free QR code on Canva. Canva is another place you can create, I create my business cards and flyers that way.
Excellent. So you heard even extra bonus tips from Karrie here today. We just incentivized her to get it out somehow. Thank you so much for joining us at OMG Talk Show or omgtalk.com, the Small Business Owner Podcast. I'll give Tony the last word, which is an interesting guy that does voiceovers. He sounds like James Earl Jones, or maybe you'll be the judge. You heard him on the intro, and we'll play him on the outro. And have a great, fantastic Wednesday. See you next Wednesday, and ciao for now.
Thank you.
You have been listening to the OMG Podcast with Paul Finkelstein. We can help you build wealth without hogging your time. Schedule a one-on-one with us. Thanks for listening. Join us again for another OMG Podcast segment.